What's up guys, Dan here from Headwaters Kayak Shop, and I've been invited out to North Carolina by Feelfree Kayaks to talk about their new 2020 lineup of kayaks. So we've been here all weekend testing boats, having a good time, and I wanted to take a moment to walk you through the brand new Moken 12.5 version 2. So basically they took everything we loved about the Moken and made it better. You know, one thing I'll say about Feelfree is they do a really good job listening to their customers, listening to their dealers, and the things that we really wanted they incorporated here in this new Moken. So let's just come in close and have a little closer look and talk about what changed. One of the main things that changed is right here. We used to have a center console that went quite a ways back in the cockpit. It was a useful storage spot, but transducer rigging was a little hard. So now we have the Sonar Pod, just like you used to see on the lure. Your battery goes in here, your transducer wires tuck in here, and you've got a waterproof port for your wires to your fish finder, as well as a waterproof port from the back of the Sonar Pod to mount your transducer on the bottom. So it's a one-piece unit, very clean, and at the end of the day, you can put this in your car. You don't have to worry about something walking away. Clips in, clips out easy. If you're not using it for sonar, you can always use it for storage as well. Moving around the cockpit, you'll see two standing platforms. It used to be one big one. They split it up, but you still have plenty of footroom, plenty of standing area. As we move our way back, you'll notice the seat, brand new for 2020, and this is definitely the biggest upgrade that we've seen. The old seat was a clip-in seat, which wasn't bad. It was still really comfortable, but in this day and age, you gotta have a seat to be competitive, and they were able to do it. They took the seat that you're used to seeing on the Johnny Bass 100. You're also gonna see it on some of the new Big Fish, like the Big Fish 108 pedal drive. Same seat that you're seeing in the new Moken. And I've been in it all weekend, super comfortable, great lumbar support, nice and wide too, so if you got a little thicker ass or thicker tushy, you're still gonna fit in this thing, no problem. Other little things, little subtle upgrades. Well, the fact that the seat goes up and down, I think is also a nice upgrade. Check this out. So you have a high-low positioning. So before it was just kind of set in a low, now you actually have about 4 inches of height adjustment, and the boat maintains plenty of stability. So still able to stand in it, still able to paddle it, no problem. But you have a lot more options for your comfort. So the Moken's always been a really great paddling boat. I think it's one of the best paddling all-around kayaks that's out there right now. Now that they have it with the chair in it and the bigger standing platform, they're really crossing that bridge of a you know, kind of a touring fishing kayak that you can still stand up in, you can still have a chair in, and I think it just has a very broad appeal. And at $7.99, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a better value on the market. It is rudder ready, so it's pretty plumb for rudders. It doesn't come with the rudder, but the nice thing is the hoses right here are ready to connect. All you gotta do is swap out your foot pedals to the rudder foot pedals. You've got your retracting line, which is where, oh, right here. You got your raise and pull line that comes right down here. So literally, if you wanted to upgrade this to the rudder, all you'd have to do is drop the pin in, run the lines, and swap out the foot pedals. And in a matter of 10, 15 minutes, you can have a rudder boat. A rudder ready, lawn chair, high-low seat, Sonar Pod, at around $1,000. I don't know of a better value. If you guys know of one, you're welcome to leave that down in the comment section. But really, really incredible value for what you're getting. Let's talk about a few other subtle differences that they added to the Moken. One of them is the rod. I'm gonna call it horizontal rod storage because it technically is probably meant for rod tips, but you'll see how I have my bait caster in there. As I've actually flipped that around and put it in backwards, and this thing just parallels along the boat, stays nice and out of the way. And actually I had one of the team guys show me that. That's how he uses them. Otherwise, the reels kind of hang out on the side or a little bit in the way. But this is a really smart solution to get those rods horizontal, out of the way, even if it's just for transport. Other little things you'll notice upgraded is a new Feelfree Unitrack. They do a top-mounted Unitrack, whereas before, let me see if I can, there you go, create a little more space to see that. Before it was molded into the boat, and we didn't have a lot of issues with it, but this definitely feels stiffer, stouter. It's more one with the boat just because it has a little bit wider base, a little bit better attachment. I definitely think that's a nice upgrade. You still do need either a Mighty Mount or a Unitrack adapter in order to run all your old T-bolt stuff, but easy convertible and a very stout system. Let's see what other things we have. Let's just go through the standard features of the Moken. As always, you've got your big front handle, so if you need to pick this thing up and move it around, you got a solid place to do so. As you work your way back, adjustable foot pedals in the cockpit, scupper holes in the front of your feet, scupper holes beneath you here, and then another set of scupper holes underneath your butt. So 6 total in the deck, which makes it really quick to drain. If you take waves on, if you take water on, you know, like we take this out on the ocean on the West Coast in choppy days, the water just drains right through the deck. Definitely a seaworthy design. Behind the seat here, you'll see a couple of cup holders. I definitely think that's a nice thing that they kept from the old one. One of my favorite things about the boat, being able to put some drinks with me on board. In the back, you've got a little twist lock storage hatch. I mostly use this for access to get in and out of the boat or for rigging. The more access to the hull, I think the better you are when it comes to rigging and building. You could also store stuff in there if you wanted. And then the tank well is a perfect size, whether you're using a milk crate, a black pack, or a Feelfree crate bag like this. Plenty of space, plenty of length, even if you wanted to use a longer one. This has 5 rod holders on it, but I've seen guys use up to 9 rod holders in this kayak. Plus you've got 2 flush mounts built into the boat, so if you just need a quick place to stow a rod or stow a net, you've got those right on board. Over here you'll see the paddle clip, same like you've been seeing. It's kind of right behind your hip. You got a little ledge there, clip it in place and you're good to go. Comes with the crate straps built into the boat, not something you need to add. So if you're running a milk crate or a Feelfree crate, you just strap it down there. Deck bungee throughout the rear. One thing I liked is they went away from those little orange clips and they went to this setup, which is basically pad eyes throughout the boat and then another top mounted unitrack. So these can unbuckle and then you can use these bungees to stretch and to clip on. Maybe you want to put a fish bag back here. I know it's something we do a lot when we're fishing the ocean. Got to keep our fish cool and keep them away from the sea lions. In the back, you've got a grab handle and a little hidden feature that's hard to tell, but you actually have 2 really nice molded in handles in the back of this boat. So if you wanted to pick it up and move it around, that's actually a really solid place to do that. You got a drain plug. If for some reason you have water inside, you can get it out here. And then lastly is the spot for your rudder in the back here. Also, with any Feelfree kayaks, you guys already know this if you're subscribed to the channel, or if you're hearing about it for the first time, this is what makes a Feelfree kayak. It's a patented wheel in the keel. So when I'm moving this thing around on ramps or on concrete, I don't have to have a cart, I don't have to lift the whole boat. I can just pick up the front of the boat and roll this thing around. It's a difference of 2 guys having to schlep a boat down to the water, or 1 guy picking up the handle and rolling it. Now I like to say concrete or hard ramps because if you're going through sand or through dirt or through rugged terrain, you're still going to want a proper cart. But I tell you what, for getting around the parking lot or for rolling it down a concrete ramp, these things come in clutch. And you're not wearing out your keel. You got a wheel. So, all right, thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to go back and hit the water, try to catch some of these lake lure bass. If you're not already, do me a favor. Go check us out at Headwaters Kayak here on YouTube or at Headwaters Kayak on Instagram for a lot more content like this. We really strive to be your community kayak shop on the internet, and we appreciate your support. Until next time, you guys, this is Dan from Headwaters Kayak Shop wishing you happy paddling. We'll see you on the next one.